Hi everyone, my name is Terri and welcome to my channel, The Pink Dumbbell Problem, where I get to talk about my work in fitness, feminism, and philosophy. And this is an episode in the Friday Fact Day series, so today's facts are all about Persons Day. Persons Day isn't exactly a holiday, it's just a day of observation that we have here in Canada every year on October 18th, so it was this past Monday. Persons Day marks the anniversary of the date on which women became recognized as persons by law here in Canada. It sounds bizarre, but there was a time when women were not considered legally persons. And there's a famous case called the Persons Case, in which 5 women, known now throughout Canadian history as the Famous Five, Henrietta Muir Edwards, Emily Murphy, Nellie McClung, Irene Parlby, and Louise McKinney. This case came about because these were all accomplished, highly educated professional women. But as they wanted to move on to other things, including serving in the Senate of Canada, they couldn't because the Senate defined membership by being a person. And unfortunately, the government decided, despite all seeming common sense, that women did not meet the definition of person. They lost their appeals on all of this in the Canadian court system. They had to go to Great Britain and speak to the Privy Council there because Canada, even though we were a separate country for quite a few years by this point, we didn't have our own constitution. We were still governed under what's known as the British North America Act. So really top level orders by law had to be done there. So they got on a boat, they went all the way to England, and they spoke to the Privy Council of Great Britain. And it was that council that decided that yes, women are in fact persons. Again, it sounds so absolutely ridiculous that this ever even had to be argued. And by that ruling, women in Canada and other parts of the British Empire as well were finally able to serve in the highest ranking governing bodies of the land, including the Senate. Now, that, of course, does not mean every single woman was eligible. Like so many things in feminist history, this really only applied to white women who were relatively well off. And there's intersections of issues around race and ability and economic class that meant a lot of women were still really kept out of the running for any of these things. But at the very least, sex was no longer the basis for defining a person as not a person. I mean, we don't even really have language to say that smoothly today. I've been struggling with how to say that this whole time I've been prepping this video. Now, here's the real kicker to all of this. This was less than 100 years ago. They won the case in Britain in 1929. We are still 8 years away from the 100th anniversary of this change. That's not a lot of time when you consider the grand scheme of things. My fellow Canadians will remember as well the Heritage Moment videos were popular in the mid-90s and through to the early 2000s. They're still played occasionally, but they're mostly gone. The Heritage Moments was a series done by the Government of Canada to popularize Canadian history. We learned so much British history from school and television, and a lot of American history from television, that Canadians really didn't know that much of our own history. So the Heritage Moments were little TV shorts that were created to basically teach us that and do a pop culture pedagogy moment, and by seeing them over and over again, we all remember them. This is the thumbnail of the one, and I'll put a link down below for the one about the Persons Case. And that, by the way, is actress Kate Nelligan, very famous actress here in Canada, playing Emily Murphy in the Heritage Moment. And Emily Murphy was one of the Famous Five, and she was also the first woman, not yet a person, but a woman, to become a magistrate in the British Empire. You can watch it for yourself. There's a little moment at the end where she talks about going to the Senate, and it just gives me a happy little feminist chill every time I see it. Even after all these decades that it's been playing on TV, and I've seen it a million times, I still like that bit at the end. Thanks as always for watching. Please make sure you do all the YouTube clicky stuff down below. And let me know, do you celebrate Persons Day if you're here in Canada, or if you're in another country, does your country observe something similar when women got certain rights or whatever, historically speaking? And as I always say, lift heavy, fight the patriarchy, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.